as far as like traveling goes, the beginners really get shown the world of capoeira.
Yeah.
For me, in particular, you remember I told you I started in Springfield, and it was just like 16, 17 of us just in a tiny karate studio, doing this crazy Brazilian dance fighting.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing, and I had no idea, and going to other people's events really opens your eyes to the wider community, that it's like, oh, this is a real thing. It's not just like this thing that I do in my room with my friends
watching YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. It's a real thing. It's everywhere. I can connect with people. So cool.
Yeah.
And then as you progress, you get to like advanced students, right? And the thing about it being an advanced student is that capoeira starts to plateau a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You start doing things, and maybe you play capoeira with your friends, the same people a lot. You play them with other advanced students, and the advanced students start to learn your tricks. They learn your fakes, and your this and your that, and it's having a bag of tricks in capoeira is like having a bag of magic tricks. It's like everybody is amazed the first time you do it.
Yeah.
Like you pull out a card, then it's like, oh, is this your card? And they're like, yeah, how'd you do that? And the second time you do it, they're like, yeah, we already, and it doesn't work as well.
Yeah. It's like saying the same joke.
Exactly.
100 times.
It's like making the same joke. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's not funny anymore.
Yeah. But what's nice about going out to other people's events is that after you can take those same tricks and remember, that they work, that they're effective, that it kind of tests your mettle and shows you that you are a capable capoeirista. That lets you grow your confidence
100%,
as well as it sort of exposes maybe some holes in your capoeira that you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
And you get to pick and choose. Yeah, you get to pick and choose those sorts of things that you want to take away. Like you pick and choose, like you realize one event, oh, I need to be better about predicting Vingachiva, or I need to use Melosh Kampasu in this way, or something like that, and you realize those little things from each event. Everybody has some lesson to teach you in capoeira, I think.
Yeah. I agree.
And the same thing is, the same thing's true for teachers too. Once you start teaching classes, you go to other people's events. There's 10,000 ways to do a Melosh Kampasu.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You step this far, you step this far, you step this far. You do it this way, you do it this speed. You lead with the heel, your toes point downward. There's all these different kinds of tiny variations, and then even more than that, there's how the teacher gets that accomplished. How they teach the student in that way, and learning those methodologies and finding something that you like in teaching is just as beneficial. Like going to an event is just as beneficial for your teaching as it is for your training and company.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
And that's really more than anything. That's what I wanted to say, was just that, like, traveling to other people's events is the crux of growth for me. It's what inspires me. It's what keeps me coming back to capoeira. It's what like the networking that we do, the growth that you do, your ability to like learn to teach as well as to teach people how to learn. Because
not everybody learns the same.
You said you had Mesha Kwek on this podcast, didn't you? In his instructor's course, he says that in capoeira, for a good capoeira teacher doesn't teach capoeira, they teach their students how to learn capoeira.
Totally.
Because you don't really necessarily you're not going to be able to teach them everything, and they're going to learn stuff that you don't know how to do. So it's like kind of set that foundation.
Yes.
But
I agree. I agree with that, because I love traveling, and since I started capoeira with I've been traveling since I started, and once I start teaching all my students here, I always been I'm gonna travel. you more than welcome to come with me, but I'm gonna travel. So
Yeah.
this is going to be my trips, and just for you to know is much better. I'm not going to be teaching everything. If you go out there and you explore different events and get to play with people, and you're going to acquire completely different experience that you acquire here. And I actually tell them one of my number rules when I travel, especially if I travel with somebody from my class, is we don't train together and somebody else of it, because I train with them all the time. So
Yeah.
it's no point for me to be like, for example, Mr. Pekinese put a sequence on partners and be like, why am I gonna train with you when I see you every single day? I'm gonna go train with
Yeah.
somebody that I don't know. I don't know their jingas. I don't know their timing. I don't know their height of the kicks, and it's just a completely different experience when you have different
The
people.
way that they move and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
totally.
one of the things that I really love about capoeira is that it has that room for those different interpretations, you know?
Yes, yeah. I
Like
like.
you can see those like those groups that are like, they're standing up straight and they do their shingo like this
Yes,
and
yeah,
that those groups that have like the big wide open like
yeah,
swirly capoeira. I really it's just we do a dope thing. This is a cool
yeah.
thing that we got
Yeah,
going on here.
yeah, man. And man, I tell this, and I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the podcast. Because when we talk about on timing, that say like, we try to do the podcast about this much time, and it's just hard to put time on a capoeira topic or just a capoeira conversation, because we can go for hours. For hours, we can talk and talk and talk, and it just like it just never ends.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
super true.
Yeah, cause man, growing up, with my friends, I we started at 9 p.m. and it was like 2 in the morning. We're still talking, and he's like, "Man, I think we should go sleep."
Yeah. When I was teaching in St. Louis, the only time we could rent the space out
Yeah,
to teach class was from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m.,
yeah,
which was fine because we were like college students, you know.
yeah.
But afterwards, to we would go out to like Steak and Shake or whatever restaurant we could
Nice.
find, and then just hang out there and talk until like 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning.
When they
And
kick you
I
off.
think, yeah, I think about that now. Like, oh my god, you know,
Yeah,
nowadays you ask me to go out past 9 p.m.
it's too late for me,
Not a
man.
chance. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's also really cool that you mentioned that it's very nice to see newer students traveling. Like Kurujawan, you met my student Kurujawan. He's been doing capoeira
yeah,
for 2 months, I think now, or 4 months, something like that. And man, it's like the first trip with us was, I don't remember, was with Jesus Brazil, I think, and
mm,
all the way to Wisconsin. And I think he was like a month, and he was like, "Don't worry, man. You will get at some point. Just
yeah,
follow. Try to like just pay attention of the movements, pay attention where the kicks goes and all that, and you'll be fine. But enjoy the moment and enjoy the time here. Enjoy people, talking to people, and everything else."
yeah. He did fantastic. I mean, what I saw
Oh, cool.
at the event, all of his
Yeah.
students did.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Thanks, man.
yeah, I was particularly impressed by Relampago and Papa Leguas.
Yeah.
Papa
Nice.
Leguas, has he really been training for like 15 months or something like that?
Yeah. Like almost 2 years now.
That's nuts. I would never have guessed that. Man is dedicated. He's got it going.
Yeah.
It's,
No, he got bitten by the capoeira bug for sure.
that's really really awesome.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to hear about that.
yeah.
To see you guys in the future and watch that growth continue to happen.
Oh, totally. Yes. And on the Zoom meetings, I have on the YouTube channel, I have there some of the really old classes of the beginning of the Zoom. If you go there, you're going to see the entire progress of all of them.
Oh yeah, I'll have to
Yeah,
check that out. I would like to
yeah,
see that.
yeah. I have post, man, since 2020. There's a lot of video from 2020 class, which is really cool because you see the entire progress of all of them. It's really nice.
Yeah, you watch them just like and man, I that is one of the things that's really helpful about because I manage the Instagram page for Capoeira Volta Mundo.
Yeah.
Shout out at Capoeira VAM.
Nice, nice, nice.
You like that? You like that
Yeah,
shameless
yeah.
plug?
A little plug in there.
Yeah, but we one of the things that's nice about recording stuff all the time is that
Yes.
you can go, because capoeira is the way that it is. It's done with other people, and it's so nebulous. It's
Yes.
like there's so much to it, and it's so kind of difficult to really measure or have any
Yes,
sort of
yes.
metric.
That's why it never
Recording
is being
stuff,
as the
yeah,
Olympics.
yeah. Recording stuff is the best way, I think, to see your own progress,
100%.
because
I totally agree with you.
everybody around you is also growing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
sometimes in capoeira, it feels like you're not growing for like a long time,
Yes. Yeah.
a long time. But it's just because everybody around you is also growing,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. And it's also that phase where like you train and train and train and you don't feel that progress. The best time to
Mm.
for you to understand your progress, record yourself.
Yes,
That's
I could
yeah.
not agree more.
Yeah, yeah. I always record our hardest. Like I'm gonna tell Halampago and see if she can send you some of the really really old videos. I think they have all the videos because I record the harda of our class and I send in the group chat. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
he's they can watch the video whenever they want. But they have classes since harda since last year, and they can be like, this is my 2020 me and this is my 2021 me, and you can see
exactly.
yourself.
That's
Yeah.
I whenever I feel like doubtful, because
Yeah.
we all have those times, right? Like you're
Yeah,
just like,
totally, totally.
like I'm not doing super hot, or I'm not doing really well.
Yeah.
I always go back and look at like my old videos from
To get some,
2013,
yeah,
2014,
to get auto motivation in there.
oh my God, yeah, it's assurance for sure,
Yeah, yeah.
more than anything. But also, just like traveling to other people's events, it helps you see holes that you might not even realize are there.
Oh yes,
You know,
totally, totally. Yep.
I got you won't be able to hear this or to see this on the Spotify version of this, but I got a big long neck.
Okay. I think
And
it's normal.
so when I do Ginga, my head pokes out a lot, you know. Um,
That's funny.
so I didn't realize that until I started filming myself, and
Yeah.
I had to like shrug my shoulders and kind of hide myself down in there and
Oh
be
yeah.
a little
Oh,
safer and stuff.
okay.
Like those little things, you don't realize how high your Ginga is, or
Yes.
this is inflexible, or
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Helps guide you in the right direction if you don't
Yes.
have any. If you don't have a measure, he just yells at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just
That's
like,
true.
fix your stuff. Yeah, if you're on your own, that's like recording is your number one best friend, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Because I also tell them, all my students, and be like, when you watch the videos and you can auto criticize yourself, but don't be on the criticize yourself on the sense of be like, oh, I suck at this, I suck at this. Because it's gonna be completely different of being, oh man, I need to improve this section, or
Yes.
my Jenga is, oh man, I need to fix my Jenga, or adjust these things instead of like talking negatively to yourself and be like, oh, I suck at this. Because now you get stuck
Yeah.
on that.
You know what? You know what else though? Another thing that, as far as like criticisms go,
Yeah.
is that I don't know. Maybe this is just me, right? If somebody that I don't really know like offers me an opinion on my capoeira,
Yeah.
uh, I hate it. like I think it's an ego thing,
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
it just, as soon as they say it, I'm just like, who is this guy?
Yeah. Let me see your
This
capoeira.
Yeah, this rando. And
Yeah.
then it
Yeah.
turns out, he's Mestre so and so.
Oh man,
From
that's so funny.
but yeah, so
Yeah.
on top of recording, and being your own critic, I would advise letting other people's advice not necessarily strike your ego as much as it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Don't take it personal. Yeah.
Yeah, try to consider it and see what it is.
Yeah. 100%.
If
Yeah.
you agree with them.
Yeah.
But also, because I think that learning a lesson from someone doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter who the person is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily invalidate the lesson. Like you know, for instance, let's say Stalin, right? Joseph Stalin, bad dude, killed a bunch of people. If he says 2+2 is 4, man's not lying. Like he might that doesn't make it 2+2 equal 5 or anything. Like the lesson isn't invalidated necessarily by the person who's saying it. And same thing for capoeira. Like the critiques aren't necessarily invalidated by the person who says it. Like I've had people. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I've had people who are in their first chord, or didn't have a chord, say like, your hands are really open. Like, can I just do this? Or like, can I just throw a chapa here? Can I just throw a hastiera here? And be like, you know what? Yeah, you can do that. That's totally. You got a really good point there.
Yeah. And then you watch a video again, and you're like, oh man, I really have my arms too open.
Yeah, exactly. You go with that in mind.
It was funny. Because it's the same like on the other side too. I'm being like, not let the knowledge that you have overstep of the person that you are criticizing, quote unquote. Is on being like, I'm gonna criticize you to help you. No, I'm gonna criticize you to let you know that I know more than you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. You know what? That is a really great point. Great point.
Because I got people like that before, or being like, in the past, and being like, oh, Kashishi, like you should do it like this, but it makes you feel that it's like letting you know that they know more than you. If that makes, I don't know how to.
No, I completely understand, and I completely agree. Sometimes it's like that, like somebody comes to you and they're like, I don't like this, or like, they say it in like a you should do it my way kind of thing.
Yes, exactly, yes.
And I have a bit of advice for that. In order to not be that guy, if you want to help somebody else, ask them for their way first and try their way first.
Nice. And then, cool. I like that.
Yeah, because then you try their way and then they try your way. You don't necessarily, you ask them about your way, and it's like, you might learn something that you didn't know before. They might have a different perspective on a movement that you didn't necessarily have.
Yes.
And for instance, right, I'm not going to name any group names here, but I was watching a video of a Hada from a particular group, and I saw these two guys throwing. It was a very fast game, and they were playing capoeira like really far away, like the Hada's huge, and they're like here, right, and they're quechadas going quechada, armada. You're like over here, like there's no threat to the other person. They have a lot of difference. And I was like, I don't get that. Like, that makes no sense to me, For me, the capoeira is all about the interaction, playing capoeira with the other person, moving with the other person, dodging the other, responding to the person. It's like, you can't necessarily respond if they're really far away, and nothing that you do necessarily matters.
What is the point?
I started coming off, like, I asked the group leader that, and I was like, well, why do you do this? This seems dumb. This seems like a bad idea. And they told me it's because they don't want their beginners. Those two people were beginners, and they wanted to have their beginners focus on form and training their movements and interaction without the danger of them planking kicks or you see what I'm saying? Like, you come at these things with a bit of humility about it. And you ask them before you're just like, this is dumb. Or do
what is the context behind it?
And then as you come to understand, you might learn something yourself. And like from that day forward, I stopped having beginners whenever they're training together. I stopped having them be so close. I had them space out and like throw the kick here and throw the dodge here, so that they can practice and then ease towards each other as they get more comfortable.
Nice. Okay. Nice. Oh, is it something like if it's a show, or if it's something like demonstration? Because I do that for demonstrations. I can be go as fast as you can, but go far. because it's just to show people what we do, not to demonstrate who can hit the other one faster than whatever, because is I just don't like that mean interaction in especially demonstrations.
Yeah,
Unless
no, I
unless
completely
is
agree.
unless is a purpose, like I don't know, like balloon or something like that, that you're gonna practice acrobatics or something like that. But if you're gonna be kicking fast, just be a part.
No, I completely agree for the sake of a
Yeah,
demonstration that, yeah, that's a really good idea to
yeah,
maintain. Just keep that distance and that kind of thing. But
yeah,
shows in themselves are like this whole other thing, right? Like you go out to do a show. I always struggle with those. I've always struggled with those. You know what? Actually, let me ask you while I'm at it, right?
yeah, yeah,
Because I've told you before that for me the interesting part of capoeira is the interaction.
yeah.
So let me ask you, what is it that if you saw a capoeira show and it was a really amazing show, what would you be looking for? Like say you go to a capoeira show and it's the best capoeira show you've ever seen. It's amazing. What is it that would about it that would make it amazing? You know what I mean? Like what are the
Yeah, yeah.
aspects that make it really good? What is it that you're looking for in a capoeira show?
Well, I'm trying to look for from the capoeirista perspective. I will be looking for acrobatics because that's the one that attract people the most. Because if you do just as simple as a macaco or just as simple as a ausimao, people are gonna be like, "Whoa, that's so cool," And it's just for us that probably been doing capoeira for a long time. It's just like, "Well, it's just a macaco." But or Piojimao, something very very simple,
Mm-hmm.
and at least for me, that's what I also tell my students. If we're going to do a demo, try to be as acrobatic as you can, even if it's just holding the handstand, or try to do something very simple, very easy that you already dominate, but try to do it very very often so we can impress the public. Because
Yeah, yeah.
same thing like Mercado Modelo, that's what people used to do to catch the money and to attract the tourists for them to collect some money. And it's just the
Mm-hmm.
acrobatic that the balloon that came from is from that at least that from my perspective. What do you think?
I agree. I agree. See, and that's the thing is that like when I look at a capoeira show, because acrobatics, like you said before, we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
So you've been doing 18 years,
20
right?
years.
20 years, 20 years,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry. Um, so I'm here at 13, 14 years.
yeah,
I it's uh you stop being impressed by the acrobatics, like
yeah,
it
yeah,
it starts to take like this like really really huge insane thing for me to be like whoa, like that
yeah.
and I'm not even really that much of like an acrobatics person. I don't
Same,
do that
same.
many flips,
Yeah, but
but
we've seen so many now
you
already.
just see them. Yeah, you
Yeah,
see them
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
um so for me, what an amazing capoeira show would be something that really showcases a blend of interaction and acrobatics. So
nice.
you look at people. My Some of my biggest inspirations these days are Mestre Adan's lineage in Cordel de Oro.
Yes.
Um, you
Oh
if you
man.
look at if you look at their games, in
Yeah,
Russia and Israel and stuff, um, they're like fluid and acrobatic and connected to the other person,
yeah,
but still like dangerous and tricky, but also,
yes.
like
It's so
yeah,
so cool, man.
yeah,
It
yeah.
looks so
That's
cool.
sort of like that interaction.
Yeah,
While they can still be throwing some acrobatic movements here and there, but also vingachivas, and
yeah,
also just super razor fast quechadas and meluas and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
That's what would be interesting to me, because it's like I have this sort of conflicting opinion on shows because I don't know necessarily if let's say you're 27. I don't know
Yeah.
how old you are, Mr. Thor, but
I'm 35.
let's say okay. Let's say you're
Yeah,
let's say you're yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's say you're 27, 28, and like you've never done a flip before in your life.
Yeah.
And you go to a capoeira show and you see people flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. For me personally, if that were me, what I would take away is, oh, well, I can't do that.
That's very true. Yeah, a lot of people take it like that. Yeah,
So
and it's normal. It's
that's
completely normal.
yeah. So it's the question is then like, how could we include acrobatics and make a show that's still impressive to
Yeah.
like the layman, the person, the non-capoeirista, and still make them feel like it's achievable and it's something that they want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's yeah.
That's I'm not even asking for an answer. I
Yeah, yeah.
really honestly have no idea.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Well, it also depends of the public, right? Because if you, I mean, and it depends of the goals that you want, right? Because if it's a show just to show capoeira, I think acrobatics will be fine. But if it's a show for you to attract people, because backflips, regardless of you will do it or you won't do it, it's still very eye catching. But if you have people do ausimao, pegimao, and something basic, and kids doing a bunch of oohs, that'll catch some people.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, and see, that's another thing though that you're totally right about is that shows are really good for helping the community of capoeiristas.
Yeah, totally.
It helps kind of stitch together the people that are on stage,
Yeah.
It makes them feel good about themselves. It kind of adds to their, I don't know, confidence as capoeiristas, because we get so, in exactly the same way, we get so numbed out, by being around all these people who do all these amazing things, that sometimes we forget that like not everybody can do some of the things that that we can do. And so it kind of helps to reinstill confidence. You can do shows, just like you're saying, you can do shows that are just to show capoeira, that are only the only real purpose is to make the performers feel good.
Yeah.
And maybe impress the audience. But
yeah,
that's super interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, because it depends on what you want to achieve too. Because if I'm going to do a show with on an elderly home, and it's my point is, yeah, you can probably teach capoeira to them, but it's not going to be my main public, or it's not going to be the audience I want to attract to my class. And again, don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't want to teach them, but it's not my target public. So it's going to be, we can do whatever kind of show we want in there, because it's just to impress them. But if it's a bunch of kids in a school, I wouldn't play too close, so it doesn't seem as aggressive. And then it always depends where you are, Like, man, one day I saw a Hada with a bunch of kids around, and it was these two capoeiristas in the middle just hitting each other so crazy hard. And I was like, man, it's a bunch of little kids around you.
Yeah. Where was that?
Like
the US or?
No, it was somewhere in South America. Yes, so it was like, man, just like, yeah, I mean, it's cool that capoeira is a martial art, but if you want to impress the kids, no, just do acrobatics or do ausimao.
Handstand. Yeah. Well, also, I mean, not to talk shop too much, but like, you don't necessarily need to really impress the kid, right? Like, you want to inspire the kid to do capoeira with acrobatics, but it's like
just by doing capoeira, you are already doing it.
Yeah, if the mom sees you punch another dude, or kick somebody in the face,
yes,
it's like, it doesn't matter how cool the kid thinks it is, because
that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yes, because they're the one paying for class.
Yeah, they're the one who enroll the kid. They're the one who drives them there.
Yeah.
If it's that kind of community, and
totally.
So it's like they're the ones that you have to make sure that there is okay with.
Yeah.
Or anything else.
It's a safe environment for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. And to wrap it up, what would be single advice for the capoeira community, just in general, whoever is listening to this?
like I said before, those who struggle the most appreciate their knowledge the most.
Nice.
And also that traveling to other people's events will give you insight that you didn't know that you didn't know.
100%. Yes, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, Instructor.
Of course, man.
It was really awesome.
Yes. Thank you for the time and for being part of this, and having my students staying with you, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Well, we go back a ways, so yeah. I wanted to establish that connection, and I'm really excited to hear that you guys are. It seems like Capoeira is like starting to grow a lot more in the Midwest. That's what they made it sound like to me.
Yeah, trying, because it's a very interesting public here in the Midwest. Because it's like they want to try, but they don't really try. But when they try, they don't want to do it. It's a weird combination, and I'm trying to hit all those points on because the Midwest, and I'm talking about just specifically Indiana, the easy target for people to bring to class are either like gyms or like just commercial gyms, like LA Fitness, or basketball or football or soccer, just the mainstream sports and martial arts, because it's totally unique martial art for everybody here. And sometimes people are like, oh, it's a dancing thing, and a lot of people seen it before, but they don't, I guess, probably feel shy, or I heard many times it's like, I'm gonna feel so stupid doing class. It's like, it's not about that, man. It's just try.
Yeah, feel so. I understand that.
Yeah.
Because it's so foreign,
Yeah, totally. It's a completely different movement.
Yeah, it's so unfamiliar to them that they feel that way. But I guess it's kind of like my mestre always says that capoeira is kind of like a diamond, right? Like you have a huge diamond in your hand.
Yeah.
And you're like, and it feels so weird to you because you're like showing it to people on the street, and then they're just like, oh, it's just a diamond. And you're just like, what do you mean it's just a diamond?
It's a diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an amazing thing that I have, and then you just don't care. It's I wish I could show you, make you see it the way that I see it.
Yeah, but totally once people understand and people try, and after 3 classes, 4 classes, they kind of like stick a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So it's
I remember those days.
Yeah, slowly it's growing, and also on my side, because I haven't like really promote capoeira here. Just like everything is either outdoors. I mean, I have, but I can do more. I know I can do more.
Well, yeah. Don't beat yourself up too much. I mean, it sounds like you're doing a killer job over there. So.
Oh, thanks, man. During the pandemic, is more. I was very focused on the people that I already had. So it's like, I'm gonna go hard on you guys. And I told them the more you guys train and the more you guys into this, the harder I'm going to be to this. So be ready for the ride.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. I look forward to getting the chance to train with you.
Yeah, for sure, man. Same. I'm looking forward for us to be in Najada, and anytime, just be here, and more than welcome to come here anytime.
Yeah, vice versa. My house is always open, man. You want to make a trip to Sarasota, spend a couple days training, playing capoeira because there's schools everywhere here. Tampa, there's 2 schools in Tampa. There's 2 schools here in Sarasota. There's schools in Orlando and Fort Myers and Miami and Gainesville, and it's everywhere. So
it is.
If you ever want a hub, you come down, want to spend a week, you want to drive up to this academy this day and another academy the other day, come on out.
For sure. I'll be there, man. I'll be there. Well, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you again for being part of this, and I hope you have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Stay in touch for sure.
I really appreciate it, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for getting this far. Remember, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to help us and help me to get bigger numbers and bigger subscribers, so we can give more information. Okay, please, if you're listening, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, please give me a subscribe, give me a like, okay? I know you're watching right here or listening. All right, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening every single episode, especially the episode we just did. All right, thank you so much. Peace.